Hey everybody, it's Danny here, and today we got something special for the chicken coop, and we're going to unbox it and install it and let you know what our first impressions are. So stay tuned. Today we got our Omlet Auto-Door for the new chicken coop. Let's get this thing out of the box. Got the control panel. All the metal parts. Some other parts. And the door. Oh yeah. So we'll get this put together and then we'll install it on the chicken house. It looks like the instruction booklet is pretty thorough. A lot of different languages. It's got a parts list. And then it kind of tells you exactly what you need to do. So we're going to look over this real quick and then we'll show you how to assemble it. And so the first thing we need to do is we need to take the door, set it aside, and we decided we're going to put it this way. It could go either direction. You can have your cable on the bottom. We chose to have our cable up here so we could put it right up underneath. We're not going to use the solar power. We're not going to use the sun. We're going to use a timer, so it'll open in the morning and it'll close at a certain time at night. So the first thing we need to do is we need to remove this section here to put our gear in. It says not to use power tools, so I tend to get really aggressive with power tools, so I'm not going to use one today. And it says don't strain the power cord when you take it out of here. Pause. So you want to make sure you don't strain your cord when you pull it out. It tucks in there really nice. You got your little auto door gear fixins is what they call it. And so we're going to take out our gear. Got my gear, it's a metal gear, and then I've got the gear holder. So I'm going to put my gear in here, and I want to make sure that it goes down and sits all the way down. And then I take my holder and I put it through the top and line it up with the hole in the gear. And now my gear is in, and then I could put this back on. And again, you don't need to over tighten anything. Although I noticed that it does have metal inserts in there, so it's not, I'm not screwing into plastic, I'm screwing into metal. So it's so far pretty impressed with the quality of the build. All right. So we got our gear on, and now we're going to get the door set up. So next we're going to place the door, and you've got your door and you've got your holders for the door. Now it's important that when you put my door on, got it all the way over to the side, and then the direction here is important. So as I set it down in my door, it should fit right in there. Again, I got you can see it goes with the shape of the door, and it drops right in there. You don't need to over tighten them, just nice and snug. And there we have the door installed. So let's get some batteries and watch the door move. Put some batteries in here. Got 4 screws. And once the screws come off, I got a spot for 4 batteries here. So we need to get our power cord over here. And we'll decide how far up we want to put this once we get the door on, and where we want to have the controller unit at. So if you take the option with the coop light, you would plug your coop light in here. Door goes right over here. And we want to make sure we put the door underneath here so we could not have any strain on the cable. Can only go in one way. There's a hook and a catch, and then we'll run it right out through the waterproof opening. Give a little bit of slack in there. Don't have any strain on my cord. This thing does seem to be pretty well made. Didn't receive this for free. I paid for it. So my review will be honest. I'll let you know exactly what I think. I'm impressed with the way it's built. It feels solid. It is plastic, but you know, that's good in a sense, because if it gets wet, I don't have to worry about it rusting or anything. So we got the battery. Let's just see. See that? Do you see that? Oh my goodness. That means no coming out here at 6 a.m. anymore. Let's open it. Oh yeah. Daddy's happy. Okay, let's get this back together and get the door on. Be right back. Okay, we're gonna put the door on. Normally the way they want you to install this on a wood, they've got so many options. They've got their Omlet coop that they build. They've got options for wood, but on all of these, our chicken coop has a 4-inch wall and it's sheathed on both sides. So we have this cedar fencing on the inside and on the outside. So these little 3-inch, 4-inch, what are they, 3.5-inch screws with wing nut are not gonna work for us. So I have these really nice rugged construction screws that I'm going to use, and they fit perfectly. They got the same size head as the wing nut screws, and so we're going to use those. The way it tells you to line up the door, there's a safety bar over here, and you want to make sure that this safety bar is not obstructed so the chicken can't hit the safety bar if it's that far over, and therefore it's not very safe. So I'm going to slide that to where it's just exceeds the edge of my door frame, and it says to cut an 8 by 12 inch door. We've got an 8 by 11 inch door that we cut before we did anything. I did some research on door sizes. 8 by 11 works for us. I don't need to cut it any bigger, and it gives me a place for my screws to bite into. So I'm going to put my first screw right here. And I'm going to make sure I don't go too aggressive. Nice and secure. Bingo. So let's see how this this safety feature works. Let's say you got it set to close at 9 p.m. and you got a straggler chicken and the door's going to close. Straggler chicken's out here pecking around. She's like, oh, I got to go in. And she goes in and the door can't close on her. That means fresh eggs. It'll try to close 3 times if the chicken's standing in the front of the door and, oh, that's not going to work. She finally decides to go in. 3rd attempt, the door will close. I don't think it gets much better than that. Comes with a little mounting bracket and some screws. It needs 3 screws. I'm going to take 3 of these screws, and we decided we want to put it right about here. So if you look at your, I need to make sure that my mounting bracket is upside down, so the short side is on the top, and we decided we want it right about here, so that's where I'll mount it. And you want to make sure when you mount it that you have room to slide your omelet down in there. How about these beautiful signs? Manana paints them. And box is mounted. So it's got this really nice little eye if you want to set it for sensing light to open and close, dark at close and light at open. We're going to use a timer at this point. One thing that I would be aware of, if you look over here, we have a light on the overhang, and we thought about hanging this somewhere on the front closer to the door. But my concern would be that not knowing what the light sensitivity is and how well you could set it, if this light is bright enough to open to allow the door to be opened, I don't want a raccoon or something coming up here at night and activating that light, its motion detection, and then that in turn activates the door and the door opens and free dinner. We don't want that. So we're going to put it on the side where there's no light. All right, so we're going to set our time, and you can click on there to see, it'll tell you what's going on. Right now I've got it set to close at 2100. It's set on a 24-hour clock, and you can manually close by pushing the button and holding it for 3 seconds. Same with manually opening. So in order to do your mode change, to change your time, you click down, make sure your mode is on time. You could change your mode by holding down the OK button, and it'll flash through manual, light, which uses this light sensor. We're going to use time, and then I'll click down the time. My current time is 14:07 or 2:07 in the afternoon. My open time, I set it for 6:07 because I like those numbers. And my closing time will be at 9 p.m. or 2100. I don't have a night light, so that's going to be a no. I didn't click on the coop light. I didn't buy the coop light. You can change your language to English. And in order to change something, all you have to do is hold down your OK button until the numbers start to flash. Change them using the up or down arrow. and then hit your OK again. It'll flip to the hours, and then hold your OK button down. It'll tell you the time is updated. And there we have everything set. Okay, so we got the coop door set up. It blends in pretty well. It's a little modern for our old chicken. But let me give you a tour of the chicken coop. So we have some screened in shuttered windows, and in the wintertime we can close the shutters. The girls really like to sit by the windows. Anyana loves painting these signs, and I love them. They're great. We've got a nice vinyl, luxury vinyl. We had some luxury vinyl left over from our house build. That's our house over there, the barn dominium. And this is our garden shed. We had a tear down machine shed that we used all the wood from. And that's some leftover stuff that she uses to paint her signs. The chicken coop was a fence tear down from a neighbor down the road, and we just happened to be walking by at the right time. And so we built this chicken coop using the cedar branches, or the cedar branches, using the cedar from the fence. This is the egg box. Right in there, we got some fresh mint that we pulled up the other day. Makes coop smell minty fresh. The chickens love it. Just so you know where to get your eggs. And then we've got our storage for chicken feed. And I've got enough room in here for some bedding when I get another box of bedding. Back here we got the main coop door. And got some mint on the floor. Smells minty fresh in here. We use 2x3s for our perches. They seem to like them. They fit the feet really nice. No sharp edges. They really enjoyed sleeping in the cedar trees. So I put this cedar branch in here. And a couple of them use it. I got some water and some feed in here for them. So in the morning before the door opens, the sun usually up here is about 5:30. But I don't want to let them out that soon because then they end up on the porch about 6:30. So if I let them out at 6, then they won't end up on the porch. Everything is cladded in here. I got a light in here, and we also got some LED Christmas lights that light it up, and we turn everything off from the house remotely with a remote control. Again, the machine shed is all leftover stuff that we had. Roof on the chicken coop is all leftover stuff. This was the old coop. They really didn't like sleeping in it. It's pretty tight, and the girls like to have their space. This is Charlie Bear. He's the watchdog. He takes care of the girls, makes sure that they get to bed on time, make sure that nobody messes with them. And we got some nice party lights out here for them. Again, everything is turned off remotely. And then this is our garden shed. All built out of reused material. And there's the cedars that they used to sleep in. They'd get way up in the trees, but the night after we finished the coop, I came out 3 a.m. in the morning. There was a raccoon in the tree. And Charlie had scared him all the way to the top, so he wasn't able to get to the chickens. And now they go in the house at night. Just to make sure, what I've done is I've hung some hoses on the lower branches, and it keeps them from jumping up there. And now they just go in the coop every night. So tonight will be the first night with the door. We'll see how that works out. So thanks for watching. And hopefully I'll start putting up more videos. It's Bluegrass Festival season, so I'm going to be out playing some music with the friends at the Bluegrass Festivals, as many as I can get to. I appreciate you watching our channel. If you like this video, click on the like, and if you would subscribe, that would be awesome. The more subscribers I get, the more videos I can make, and we'll see if we can get our little homestead and some ideas and some reviews for you. So as far as the chicken door goes, I'm sold on the omelet. If you, and the name can't get any better. Chickens, omelets, eggs, it's perfect. It seems to be solidly built. I don't have to worry about it going up and getting caught in those little, some of the things I've seen, they got little plastic gears and it doesn't go all the way up if you don't get the door on tight enough. This seems really solid. Maybe a couple months I'll give you another review and let you know how it holds up. I'm not worried about the weather because, like you saw, it's covered. It has a roof. There's a 4-foot roof that covers it. And I don't think I'm going to run into any problems with ice or snow in the winter getting on it. As long as it opens and closes, I'm happy. So I'm signing off, and thanks for watching.